my bicycle from Mexico to Canada in 17 days. It was a phenomenal experience. I ate watermelon on the streets of Tijuana, cut with a machete by a street-side vendor. I swam in the Pacific Ocean during the summer when a movie called Jaws said, "Don't go into the water." I slept on top of a California mountain and watched shooting stars from my sleeping bag. I cooked fish straight from the fishing boat on the Oregon coast over an open fire. I met a biker in Washington State, except he wore a leather jacket with colors, and I found him to be a warm and engaging person. And as we sailed into Victoria, British Columbia, we were piped in at the end of our trip by a bagpiper. I had a lot of dreams for my life after that summer of 1975 when I was 17. I dreamed that maybe I'd ride for the United States in the Olympics. I was challenged to ride from coast to coast. I got a scholarship in journalism at a university. I wanted to write for bigger and better newspapers. But, like we say, life got in the way. Well, what about you? What did you want to do when you were 17? What dreams did you have? What foreign destinations did you want to travel to? What do you want to make of yourself? We all have expectations and dreams, but life, as we say, kind of intrudes, and we're not kids anymore. We have responsibilities. We have to take care of life as it comes. Well, here we are on Labor Day weekend, and doesn't it just seem that it was Memorial Day? Here we are, and it seems like summer is over. I don't know about you, but I had some plans for the summer. I had some projects that I wanted to take on. I hope that my tennis game might improve a little. I wanted to maybe buy something that would make my life a little more enjoyable. For sure, in Memorial Day weekend, COVID was going to be over, wasn't it? And our kids, they wouldn't be back connected to computers to go to school, and we wouldn't have all these Zoom meetings to attend to. But that's not the way it turned out, did it? The summer's almost over, and with it sometimes feels a little emptiness. There's a story from the Jewish scriptures about a king some 600 years before the time of Christ. His name is Josiah, and he is young and energetic, and expectations are running high because he's going to be a king that will bring glory back to his little kingdom of Judah. But he meets an Egyptian pharaoh and confronts his army face to face on a plain called Megiddo. And there Josiah is mortally wounded. His army is in disarray. His kingdom is co-opted and taken over. All his hopes and dreams lie in ashes. Well, maybe it feels that way for us too. A prophet spoke of Josiah and said, "The harvest is over, the summer is ended, and we are not saved." That sounds kind of hopeless, doesn't it? But we all have times in our life when things feel hopeless, when our grades weren't good enough to get into college, when we didn't quite do the kind of parenting job with our kids that we hoped we would, when we find ourselves of a certain age and realize that time is running out and we haven't fulfilled even half of what we hoped for. A boat has sailed and we're left behind. The summer has ended and we're not saved. It's kind of depressing, isn't it? But there's a little hope, I think. You know, a lot of people in political circles often talk of the presidency of Jimmy Carter as an example of a late 20th century failure. You know, Carter oversaw the hostage situation when Iranian militants took 52 American hostages and held them for 444 days in Tehran. He oversaw a military excursion to try to rescue them. It ended in failure. The economy tanked. The only thing people say about Jimmy Carter was that he brokered the Camp David peace accord, something that no president before or since had ever done, bringing the possibility of peace to the Middle East. And when Jimmy Carter left office, Washington, D.C., when he retired to Plains, Georgia back in 1981, people thought, that's the end of Jimmy. But we know better, don't we? We remember that Jimmy Carter became a global advocate for election reform worldwide, that he built houses for Habitat for Humanity, that he taught at Emory University and still teaches Sunday school at his little Baptist church in Plains, that he won the 2002 Nobel Peace Prize for his efforts to try to diffuse America from going into two disastrous wars. Jimmy Carter is a man who's faced personal challenges in his life with great courage and pride and fortitude. The summer is over and we're not saved. Well, Jimmy Carter lets us know. As a great American said, there are always second chapters in our lives. Well, I don't know about you this Labor Day weekend. Maybe all of your dreams haven't come true, but I'll tell you something. In my life, whenever I felt like something was ending, I've always been surprised that there was a new chapter waiting for me. Even in a death, there was a birth. Even in an illness, there was a blessing. Even in a setback, there was a victory. Even in a disaster, there was hope. I hope on this weekend that you might find a second chapter in your life. You might remember all the dreams you had when you were 17, and maybe you'll put on your helmet or whatever it is, and you'll say, it's time to pick that up again, because my friends, the possibilities for our life are really unlimited. And by the way, Canada is only about 422 miles from here. God bless.